When you retire, you'd want to be able to prepare while you can so you can be comfortable when the time comes. You don't want to have to work anymore when the time comes, so generally, doing what you can while you still have the opportunity to do so is key. The thing about this, however, is that once you hit retirement age, you don't know how much money you can safely spend while keeping your investments in check. For most people, they have a guide on how to do so, and for most others, there's a set 4% rule of sorts that allows them to better understand how much they can take at a set amount of time. This is Intelligentsia, real life advice for practical and financial goals. Today, we want to talk about budgeting your retirement funds so you can be more comfortable with your retirement money. So let's get to it. We want to talk about a specific retirement planning method today, and it's called the 4% rule. Now, the 4% rule is a commonly used guideline for budgeting retirement funds. You wouldn't want to be unprepared for retirement, so you work towards it your whole life. However, once you're retired, most people assume that you can just take away from your fund with no regard for the future. Since you're working with money that's finite and the goal is to not work anymore, you'd want to be able to take money at a sustainable pace in order to still have some left to grow on its own. Generally, you'd want to be able to still be regularly earning money through your retirement fund in around 30 years or more. So the 4% rule exists for those that need a little help in understanding how much they can take comfortably. The rule suggests that a retiree can withdraw 4% of their initial retirement portfolio balance annually, adjusting for inflation without depleting their savings prematurely. Here's how it works. In your first year of retirement, you'd want to be able to withdraw 4% of your total retirement savings. This ensures that you take a small portion that can easily be remedied the next time you decide to withdraw. That said, the key point to understand about this 4% is adjusting for inflation. In the following years, you can continue to withdraw while adjusting for inflation. This means you can increase the amount of money you withdraw based on the inflation rate. Understand that the 4% rule is based on historical market data, and as a result, it assumes that a well-diversified portfolio with stocks and bonds can provide a sufficient return over the course of your retirement. With 4% for your annual withdrawal, this strategy aims to assist those who plan on using a retirement fund for well over 30 years. You have to understand, however, that market fluctuations happen, and if you put all your retirement funds into stocks, you're likely to lose all your money due to the market risks. This is why when people get nearer the retirement age, they switch to safer options like bonds instead. In terms of investment style, once you're near retirement age, you'd want to shift into a more defensive style of management and go for a wealth preservation approach. Investment returns can fluctuate based on market conditions. While the rule aims to provide a sustainable withdrawal rate, actual returns can vary, impacting the longevity of your portfolio. That said, you also have to take into account individual circumstances. Think about it like this. While we all have to retire at some point, not everyone has the same needs, wants, and everyday trials. There are things that you don't get to decide on what you should be spending on, and unfortunately, you can only ever plan so much. Your health, lifestyle, spending needs, and market conditions all play a part in the amount of money you'll actually need in your daily expenses. Whether the 4% rule will still apply to you will be different from someone that may need to spend less. Now, with 4%, you'd want to be able to conserve it and be able to use it for years. The main reason for that low of a number is you'd want to consider longevity and retirement duration. The 4% rule is designed with the idea that it would last you for more than 30 years. While that's not set in stone, and if you expect your retirement to be shorter or longer, it should be up to you to adjust it. Since you need to consider how long you'll have the fund for, you need to consider the fees involved too. Investment fees, taxes, and other portfolio costs can add up and can affect your net returns. While 4% is sustainable, it doesn't always account for all the other costs involved. With all the different factors involved, 4% is fine, but you should always be flexible in terms of understanding the ins and outs of your money. Given the complex nature of individual financial situations, it's important to take note that while 4% is a set amount of money, it's only a guide to help you get started. Market dynamics, individual circumstances, and other possible factors included, It's important to discuss this with a financial advisor and be properly informed about your financial situation. We've talked about the general nature of the 4% rule, and now we'd like to talk about the pros and cons of it too. For one, it's simple and easy to apply. 4%, 4%. It's easy to apply and easy to understand, making it perfect for people that don't like to overcomplicate their budgeting and instead want to follow a standardized approach to budgeting. Since the rule is based on historical market data, there's evidence that backs it up based on past market performance and asset allocation strategies. It also encourages long-term planning. Since you're allowed to do this throughout your retirement, it's a structured approach for your retirement income and is expected to perform for 30 years. You're also supported in terms of wealth preservation as its main goal. Since you're withdrawing controlled amounts, you're not going to be wasting away your retirement money in one go. Not a lot of people have a firm grasp on how much money should be coming and going, but with a 4% rule, it's safe to say that there's a set amount that you can work with and you're essentially forced to budget for it. With a consistent plan in place and set amounts for withdrawal purposes, retirees can rest easy and be in a psychologically sound place knowing that there's a strategy in place for their money that they can manage their finances throughout retirement. But as good as those things are, there are negatives to the 4% plan, namely market volatility. The rule assumes a steady market performance. However, that's not always going to be the case. The reason why most investors shift their focus to bonds from stocks is because you don't want to be building your wealth in your retirement age. You want to preserve it instead. If you're younger and just starting out, building your wealth is good because you have all the time in the world to prepare for retirement at that time. Short-term setbacks aren't going to affect you too much in the span of 40 or so years. Volatile markets, however, can affect your retirement fund sustainability, and as a result, you may need to cut back on your withdrawals. Future market conditions may not mirror past market conditions either. While it's a good thing to know how market conditions work, it's not always reflective of what could happen in the future. Since there's a set amount of time of 30 years in the 4% rule, retirees who live longer than expected may deplete the fund prematurely. As a result, these retirees often find themselves with no more money left for themselves. Investment fees, taxes, and other costs can erode returns, affecting the viability of the 4% rule in maintaining a sustainable retirement income. In summary, the 4% rule provides a good starting point. It's a general guide for your retirement budgeting, and it's essential to recognize that it's not a set rule that people should follow to the letter. Flexibility, periodic assessment, and adjustments to the withdrawal rate over time is important in assessing your needs, your fund's duration, and everything else included. Consulting with a financial expert on matters such as these is helpful in assessing your needs and overall spending during your retirement. After all, you'd want it to be sustainable while you're comfortable. If you've enjoyed this video and found this helpful, please hit the like and subscribe button. We'd like to be able to grow alongside you and welcome to have you in our next video. Stay mentally healthy and let's get financially fit together.